we got going round in semi number 2, Jack.
Yeah, Cam Cole, ex-Australian Ironman champions there. I see Reece Burrows as well, so a noted board paddler. I think he might have picked up a good wave in the heat to get himself through. We'll see how he goes here in this next one.
And talking about noted board paddlers, Scott McCartney from Coogin Headlands, right up on the far north coast, former New South Wales board champion and head coach of the New South Wales state team. So a lot of talent here from the Coogin boys, and they like to have some fun. I'm sure Scotty Mack will do the job here in semi number 2. The boys are away, and still a couple head down to the right. Obviously weren't watching semi number 1.
Perhaps not, Josh. Perhaps he was up in the bathrooms and watched only the female race with Jordan Mercer, using that side to her advantage.
Yeah, well, times have changed here at Freshwater, and it looks like it has paid dividends for the Mermaid competitor. Cam Cole on the left-hand side in the Alex Cap, formerly of Mooloolaba. That big Mooloolaba stable split up in the off-season, made his way down the road, and looks like he's just finding a little bit of form at this point of the season.
Yeah, Cam Cole is a great competitor, Josh. He's been around for a long time. His board skills, his board racing is fantastic. So is his Ironman racing. So we'll see how Cam goes. He's one that tends to come good towards the end of the season.
Doesn't he ever? He works his way in onto the pack. The swim's not his strongest leg, but he'll suck in behind these guys and make sure he gets a ride around. Looks like Kendrick Louis in the middle, Isaac Costello as well from the Redhead Club, and maybe Dan Collins in the mix as well. So the young Redhead boys really working hard, and have a look at those shots. There's arms, legs, muscles and speedos going everywhere in this opening swim leg. You don't want to get caught underwater because you will not get up for a breath. These guys are relentless, and some incredible shooting there from Bart Louis, our underwater cameraman, as it looks like Boidier from Mermaid Beach struggles on the back of that pack. He's got a little bit of work to do, but I'm sure he'll work his way into the race. At the moment, it looks like Redhead from Newport. There's a couple of other Newport caps in there as well. So the two Redhead boys, in fact, Collins and Costello, 1 and 3. Kendrick Louis in second place. The Northcliffe cap out on the right-hand side there with a little bit of work to do. That is the 2014 New Zealand Ironman champion, Corey Taylor there, doing it his own way. Go your own way, son. He knows he's a good enough swimmer to mix it with the best of the best. They're in a tight pack heading out to this first red and yellow can, Jack.
So Redhead sitting on Redhead's feet, Josh. Newport sitting on Newport's feet. I think these boys are trying to do a little work as their team there. They're going to pull each other along, try and set it up in this swim leg, try and get their teammates through to the final.
How easy is it when you've got a teammate in the field? You know you can work together, and conversely, how tough is it when you don't have a teammate and you're working on your own?
Yeah, it is hard in this type of racing. You can see how close everyone is. If it happens that your teammate's right there, perhaps you can try and help them out along the way. But it is hard, it is tough, it is super close racing. If the boys get a chance to help their teammates, they will.
Out in front at the moment, it is Dan Collins. Kendrick Louis on the outside works to the front. Isaac Costello in third. Corey Taylor in fourth as well. It looks like Mitchell Allen, sorry, there from the Wander Club. Hayden White works his way around. Scott McCartney gets swamped on that final can. So they're at a crossroads at the moment. What do they do on the way home? Do you swim hard? Do you hope to get a wave? Or do you turn around and pray for something to come? Looks like Reece Burrows from Noosa has a lot of work to do out the back at the moment, but we know he's going to come good in the board leg later on, but it's a big gap to make up from here.
Oh, Josh, I think it's going to be too much for even Reece Burrows to do. Guys like Cam Cole are also in this field who are phenomenal board paddlers. We've spoken about them. Reece Burrows can't allow himself this much gap, but have a look at the wave on the horizon. Have a look at that wave building, Josh.
There's something there for these guys. I don't know if it's going to pick many of them up. It may wash through. It's pretty deep at the moment. Have a look at our cameraman underwater there. It is not the wildlife. It is just Bart Louis there as he pops up in the middle. Get out of the way, boys. He is getting some of the best shots in surf life saving, and a wave's coming, and it's picked up Reece Burrows. The commentator's curse. We've called him out of it. He's picked one up, and he looks like he's out in front. Not the best body surfing skills we've ever seen from a competitor, but he's held it the entire way through. Corey Taylor from Northcliffe's picked it up as well. That looked like Nick Fox. So what about that from these three? That wave has completely flipped this field on its head. Corey Taylor Taylor, the white cap with the maroon star, the 2014 New Zealand Ironman champion, professional Ironman in Australia. Nick Fox from the Wander Club in the centre of the screen. But have a look at this man, Reece Burrows. You wouldn't have picked it in 1,000 years. That is the best opening swim leg Reece Burrows will ever have. I have said it, and I will stand by it, and he knows it.
He's pretty happy with it, Josh, and so are the people, look, giving him a clap. He's picked up that wave from 40 metres behind the second last person to come through, stand up on the sand in first, and really go very close to booking himself a ticket into the final.
I was going to say, Burrows is a sniff here. He's the best board paddler in the field. He's gone in the lead. Tommy Dowling, Hayden White make their way around. They've got a little bit of work to do there. Bo Wheeler from the Northcliffe Club, Mitchell Allen, Dan Collins and Isaac Costello will be kicking themselves. How did they go from first to in the red zone in a matter of moments? But if Reece Burrows is good enough, he can get a gap here on the board, hold it on the ski. He might be through. Scott McCartney, Cam Cole, they need to make a move now. Oh, as Burrows gets belted on the outside bank.
Yeah, Burrows' skills there, Josh. Most people would fall off there, but he stuck to that board like glue. He knows he spent a lot of time on it. Look at him go up and over the top. Look at that board speed that he carries over that whitewater. He made Nick Fox look a little bit silly there. Nick Fox sits up, pops. Reece Burrows straight over the top. He's doing a good job out in front.
And Fox is a great board paddler as well. He paddles the Molokai to Oahu downwind race every year. A great competitor, but smooth as late night jazz. Reece Burrows on the board as the rest of the field start to chase hard. Kendrick Louis has gone all the way from first back into 7th place, and Alex Wright's trying to, he has to go underneath one, so the roll from Alex Wright, that is not what you want. That's going to slow you down, and he's dropped a few spots with that decision.
Yeah, Alex Wright there, but Josh, perhaps it's the decision he had to make. Those waves are banging down fairly heavily on that bank. If you make the wrong choice, if you sit up and pop and you get it wrong, you lose your board back to the beach, it's day over.
Risk management from the field, heading out through this tough freshwater break, one of the best places to race at in the entire country. A long and storied history of surf lifesaving, really the birthplace of surf lifesaving in 1908, the Freshwater Club. And the man out in front from all the way up north on the Sunshine Coast, Reece Burrows, doing what he does best, a board leg in front of an Ironman. He wouldn't have picked it in a million years. He would have said you were mad if you'd said you'd be leading this Ironman semi-final, and you're halfway through to the final. Alex Wright, we saw him break through last summer in the Summer of Surf. We took a win at North Burleigh in one of the rounds against the open competition in only his first year as an under 19. So an incredible performance from him, and he really mixes it with these open guys. But the waves are on. Corey Taylor's down one. He comes up next to Reece Burrows, goes straight past him and down a wave. Burrows is on a wave as well, as is Nick Fox. So a race in 3, but not 3 you'd expect at this point in the race. Reece Burrows from Noosa Heads on the left-hand side. Corey Taylor in the centre, the most established of these 3 as an Ironman. And Nick Fox there on the right. Watch for a big final ski leg from Foxy. He loves causing an upset here. The boys are up and around. The handlers are nowhere to be seen as the boards crash into the signs, but we're not going to worry about that. Up and around, Corey Taylor, Reece Burrows, Nick Fox. Where is the rest of the field? They've opened up a huge gap.
Yeah, the waves are coming into play, Josh, and they're making a huge advantage and giving these boys a big gap on the rest of the field.
1, 2, and 3 onto the skis. A lot of orange there for these boys. It must be the colour pattern. Bo Wheeler, formerly of Bulli, now of Northcliffe, around in 4th. Mitchell Allen having a stellar summer. He's had an unbelievable summer so far, really established himself as a star. And Hayden White, the best ski paddler in the field. They're 4, 5, and 6 at the moment, sitting pretty, but this is where it gets interesting there. Kendrick Louis round. Dan Collins doesn't know where his ski is. Tommy Dowling is on the edge. This is the red zone. 2 will get through, 2 will miss out from these 4, and then there's some more big names further back in the field.
Well, I tell you what we're not used to seeing, Josh. We're not used to seeing a guy like Kendrick Louis, a guy of that caliber, stuck back in a semi-final, racing in 6, 7, 8, 9. Kendrick Louis is the guy that's usually up the front end. He takes this time now to sit back and relax, but he can't afford to do that today. He's going to be pushing to try and make sure he's in that top 8.
Hayden White will be pushing, that's for sure. He's back in 6th place, and we can already see the gap starting to open at the front. It looks like Corey Taylor and Nick Fox have gone away from Reece Burrows, so he's just got to hang on. Wouldn't it be something if we saw Reece Burrows in the final? It looks like, as one of the boys goes up and over, Kendrick Louis cops a wave, so that's not what you want in this point, but he goes straight past Tom Dowling and moves himself into a little bit more of a comfort zone at the moment in 7th place. That's more like Kendrick Louis. That's what we're used to seeing as he leaves his rivals behind.
So that's Jake Rees there, Josh, the young guy from Newport. He's chasing his older rival, his older clubmate, Kendrick Louis, and he knows if he wants to get a spot, he's going to have to try and peg him back.
Dan Collins, the World Youth Ironman champion, has a lot of work to do after leading early. Corey Taylor, he looks a class above at the moment, just easing back on the pace there to use the back of this runner. We can see the water start to escape from underneath the nose of his ski. That's him pushing down a runner, but out to sea, the waves are coming. The waves are coming. It's going to be interesting. Nick Fox pushes down one. Hayden White looks around with a little bit of a smile. He knows there's going to be some carnage. This is what he does best, handles the ski. So it looks like we'll have 2 through out in front. Corey Taylor on the left-hand side, Nick Fox on the orange on the right-hand side. Hayden White sits up and lets one go. Somebody puts the power down and goes sideways. Somebody's off. So somebody's off there on the outside. That could be race over for them. A small mistake, a little bit of pride. I think that's Bo Wheeler. Is that Bo Wheeler who's missed out there? He is one of the big chances in the Summer of Surf overall point score, and he has gone every different direction on the way home. But we'll have to see when they hit the beach. Corey Taylor is up and through without a drama, that's for sure. So is Nick Fox. What a performance from Foxy there from the Wander Club in Cronulla Shire. A great job from him. Kendrick Louis puts the power down, whoa, and he gets really out of control. He goes sideways, not what you want from Kendrick Louis. Nick Fox claims the semi-final, of course he does, he loves it. And Hayden White is doing it with a touch of class.
Hayden White's done very well there to pick a wave. Kendrick Louis, he's often swimming, his foot stuck, Josh.
He's caught the ski. Oh, I think he's out there. Handler Mitchell Trim just makes sure he's all right. Reese Burrows is going to get through. What about that? What an upset. Reese Burrows will go through in 3rd. Hayden White's through as well. Mitchell Allen, it looks like Kendrick Louis is up and all right. The sprint's on. One will get through from this group. The race for 8th place. They're up and around the turning flag, sprinting. Alex Wright ahead of Jake Rees. Cam Cole's going to sneak in 7th place. And Alex Wright, his clubmate from Alex Heads, grabs the final spot. Isaac Costello is blowing up because he's missed out. All that hard work came undone. But what about this list of 8 finalists? Fox, Taylor, Burrows, White, Allen, Louis, Cole and Wright book their places, and a couple of names you'd expect to see in the final will miss out. Costello, Rees, McCartney, Dowling and Collins will have to come back another day.